What's up, guys? It's Jennifer. Happy Monday. You might be feeling a little like I've been feeling this last few weeks, and sometimes it's just hard to get motivated in this job. And that can happen if you're brand new and you feel like you've got this huge mountain to climb to get anywhere. And it can also happen if you've been in the business for a while. You know, sometimes just the monotony, you just kind of get into a rut, and it's hard to get yourself motivated to get out there and honestly do what is a really hard job. And I heard a quote, earmuffs if you have kids around, that honestly, this is what kind of like kicked me back into gear. I went, oh yeah. It said, losers wait for motivation, winners get shit done. And that is completely true. People think that motivation comes and then that's when you take action, and it is the complete opposite. Start doing the things and you'll be surprised the motivation will suddenly show up. Just like if you don't feel like working out, but you get out of bed and you make yourself do it anyway. Sometimes halfway through that workout, you're like, oh yeah, you know, your energy comes back. You realize why you did it. Sometimes you don't really feel like doing it the entire time you're working out, but then when you're done, you feel accomplished and you did something, even though it wasn't super easy. And now you're more motivated to go on and do other things. So just wanted to go over a few things that I think cause people to lose motivation in this job. One of them is when you don't feel like you're getting anywhere. You know, you're making your calls, you're going to the office, you're holding open houses, you know, and just sometimes things aren't clicking. And that can happen in this business. Even though you're doing everything right, you'll go through a period, you're like, why is nothing's happening. And then what will happen if you keep going is all of a sudden, and I think anybody who's been in the business can say this, like, oh my gosh, I thought the well was dry, and then all of a sudden there was a flood. Because you kept doing the things you needed to be doing every day. That's the trick. If you stop doing those things because you feel like you're not getting anywhere, you feel demotivated, I mean, what do you think you're going to get? But if you keep pushing through, sometimes you just never know. Success is just that far away. You're just not quite there yet. So keep doing all those little things, whether you feel like it or not. And once you start doing them, then you're going to start getting motivated and you're going to want to do it more and more. Another thing, celebrate the small victories in this job. Actually, I heard this has a chemical thing in our brains. You know, when we celebrate, dopamine is released and it makes you want to keep doing whatever that thing is that you're celebrating. So sometimes we think, oh, well, yeah, I mean, I had a closing, but I didn't have 5 closings this month. And so we tend to not celebrate. Or maybe you set an appointment, but you really wanted to set 2 or 3 for that week. Celebrate the little victories and that little boost, pour yourself a glass of champagne that night at dinner. You know, go get a pedicure. Do whatever is kind of a little treat for yourself to celebrate. That will motivate you to keep doing it even more. If you don't celebrate those little victories, after a while, your brain is never getting that dopamine. You're like, why am I doing this? So it's good to celebrate the small things. Another thing that demotivates people in this job is comparison. You might be feeling really good about your week, and then you go into your office and the top producer has done 10 times what you just did, and it kind of can be demotivating sometimes. You have to focus on your own journey. Literally. I mean, sometimes I start to poke my head up and look around and go, well, wait a second, I didn't get that, or that I haven't done that. I remind myself, I've got to put my blinders back on, put my head down and do the work. It does not matter what anybody else around you is doing. It matters what you are doing. So don't compare yourself. There's that saying, don't compare your middle to somebody else's end. If somebody's 10 years down the road from you, don't be comparing your career to theirs. Just focus on doing the things you need to do every day. They say success doesn't feel like success. It feels like work. Success is doing those little, boring, mundane things day after day because there is a reason. They accumulate, and that is what will make you successful in the end. And it just doesn't always feel like it when you're just right in the middle of it. So if you need some motivation, get out there, pick something, and go do it today. Then pick something else and get that done. Make yourself a list and say, I am going to check these things off today. And once you do that, you will probably be a little more motivated to do it again tomorrow. And that is where the motivation comes from. It comes from doing, not from just sitting around waiting for something to fall in your lap. So go get busy this week. Take some action, get motivated, kick ass. I already cussed in this one, so I might as well do it again. And have a great week. Thanks.